It's a mean age. But it is gonna be a beautiful future as long as we don't fuck it up. I'm Brian McWilliams, and this is Mean Age Daydream, where I bring you unfiltered comedy, criticism, philosophy, and politics with a mean age daydream. What is happening, everybody out there? Gentlemen, gentle ladies, gentle transes, animals of the kingdom.
Did he freeze?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Internet. Oh, am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
Okay, there you go.
I should set right now. It's like right as the intro. I should set right now to do local recordings. Oh, no, I can't do local recordings when live. Well, that's fucking great. Well, anyway, hopefully the internet doesn't shit out. It says I have full bars here, but well, anyway, welcome, punk rock libertarians. It is a Libertarians in Living Rooms Drinking Liquor episode of the Lions of Liberty podcast. I am here, Brian McWilliams. John Odermatt is having an internet issue. Ironically, I did too. And we're going to start without him. But I want to welcome back some of my favorite people. Really love hanging out with these guys if you don't know them. Otto, of course, the one of the three punk rock liberty guys. Say what up, Otto.
What's going on?
What are you drinking, man?
Oh, it's been rough. I thought for sure I had this bottle of Woodford Reserve up in my cabinet. I was like, I'll bring that down, crack that open before the show. And then about like 15 minutes ago, I saw that I forgot that I was drinking from that bottle at a party recently, and so I only had just a tiny bit left. So I killed that, and I was like, sure, I should have something else. And I realized I didn't have anything.
Nothing?
Except for some beers. And then I remember I bought a bottle of eggnog. So I'm currently
nice. Yes.
holding eggnog.
Yes, dude. I respect that so much. I love eggnog. Costco eggnog is the best. Kirkland brand eggnog is number one. By the way,
well, this is Evan Williams brand.
I have some of that in my fridge. Also good because it's got the whiskey and the brandy and the rum in it.
Nice.
Yep. Good choice. Excellent. And we're kicking in. I mean, by the time this airs, it will officially be December, which is great because we're recording on the Wednesday. So there's Otto. Jared, what up, my man? What are you drinking?
Hey, what's up, man? Happy to be here. I'm drinking an old fashioned with Rittenhouse rye in it.
Nice. These are good selections. And then, of course, my Philly brother, Alex.
What's up, Brian? I'm staying true to our roots, man. Drinking a Yingling Black and Tan.
Oh, beautiful. Nice. There's a rumor Yingling will be coming to the West Coast, but I haven't been able to get it yet, which really pisses me the fuck off.
Oh, man,
but
that'd be great.
Oh, man, I just don't understand it. Goddamn, Smoking the Bandit rules still in play with the Yingling can't cross state lines. But we are here. We are drinking. And we were kind of shitting. I'll launch into this topic just because I was just bringing it up. But so Strange World, right? There's this movie coming out, and it's already out, that they're saying it's going to be like the biggest bomb Disney's ever made in the history of bombs. Like they think it's going to lose something like $200 million. It debuted. They said all cost $360 million, right? Is what it cost to make this movie with all the marketing, all that shit. It made $11 million on the opening week over Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, not great.
What is it about?
Well,
yes, I did see the preview for this. It looks like shit.
Yeah. It looks like shit, and it's basically like, I don't know, some strange gelatinous world. But I polled because they're saying like, look, it was progressive, and people didn't want to see it because it was just a bunch of progressive shit. So I polled a quote from The Wrap. This is from a story with the people that made the movie in The Wrap, and this might give you an idea of why the movie failed. And I'll just read this. It's like three quick paragraphs. So, and this is them bragging to this publication, The Wrap. One of the movie's biggest surprises is how open-hearted and how progressive, too. There's the environmental aspect, of course, which makes direct parallels to our world in wonderful, forceful ways. There's also the key aspect of inclusion. Years after Frozen's Elsa became LGBTQ plus icon, without any explicit reference in the actual movie, even in the sequel, yada, 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 Disney is introducing a really for-real queer character in Ethan. Not only does he have a romantic relationship with another male character, but none of the other characters judge him, even though the movie has nebulous setting that seems to be in the fairly distant past. I mean, this is the quote. I mean, we just wanted to put on screen an LGBTQ plus character that is loved and accepted and a hero of the story, and it started and ended there. That's what we wanted to do. We love Ethan, and we think audiences are going to love Ethan too. So,
They did not.
they did not. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Because there's nothing wrong explicitly with LGBTQ characters, right? Or should they be? But what are your thoughts on them kind of forcing the issue? We're talking about Strange World, Udi. That
I've got a lot of problems with the LGBTQ community. So, I love this stuff.
Who are they?
Otto, you're gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
I know, and we're not taking turns.
yeah.
Just start yelling, and whoever gets to yell, whoever yells loudest gets to talk.
I mean,
Well-
it comes down to, does the movie have a good story? If it doesn't have a good story, it doesn't matter if the characters are gay, straight, black, white, alien. If it's not a good story, then it's gonna bomb. And I think, as stupid as audiences are, like, I think they're still not that stupid to just put up with like a shit story.
Yeah. I mean, it would be funny if the gay character, encountered like some jelly creature that just had like the jiggle of like some tits and ass, and he's like, you know what? This jelly creature just turned me straight. And then they turned Strange World into like the most successful Christian, what do they call it? Not concentration camp.
Veggie Tales.
No,
I was gonna
like,
say the Veggie
the
Tales
one-
come out like yes.
Christian concentration camp. Yeah,
The one where they change him from gay to straight, right? They're like, that's what Strange World becomes, the most successful
conversion
camp.
therapy.
Yeah, they're like, look at that jiggle, boys. Look at that jelly jiggling. So anyway, all right. So there's Jared's take. Who wants to go next? Thoughts?
I was saying he becomes Milo now. Is that Milo?
Yeah.
Yiannopoulos?
Yeah. That's where
Milo doesn't even
lived.
look the same anymore. He looks like a totally different person.
Did he gain weight? Did he once he was out of the spotlight, did he just be like, fuck it, I'm just eating yodels every day and watching football?
It happens to the best of us. All right.
You should have seen Otto before, back when he was a fey gay firebrand before he got removed from social media.
Oh yeah. And it's funny to mention that because I was just looking back at my wedding photos today. Because today is my 16th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
Man.
I'm here.
I'm glad you're celebrating by being on a podcast instead of taking your wife out to dinner.
That's a good gift,
Screw
though.
her.
Think of the gift he's giving her. He's like, guess what, honey? Tonight you don't have to have sex with me. I'm going to be on a podcast. She's like, thank you. Tears.
No, I'm kidding because she actually has work today, so she works overnight. So she's a nurse.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll be there.
Nice. Well, we're glad you are.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I kind of agree with what Jared's saying there. You have to have a good story, and like a lot of that stuff will just kind of be background, and you won't even notice it if it's such a good story. You look at Andor series just ended the first season. I thought it was phenomenal. I loved it.
Really interesting.
I've heard it's really good.
It's one of the best things Star Wars has put out since The Mandalorian first season.
It wasn't like crazy anti-Trump shit because like the creator said it's supposed to be like a repudiation on the Trump worldview or something like that. Like I haven't watched it, just haven't had time. But
if it is, it's projection on what they think Trump is, but it's actually who they are. And that's you can connect with it as like a libertarian, anyone, anarchist. You can relate to a lot of the things that take place in this, and it does have. There are two. There's a gay couple in there, but it doesn't overshadow the story because the story is just so it's just really good. So it doesn't even overshadow it, and you just forget about it at half the time. And I feel like this kind of was just a way to check this new we were talking about. It was a way for Disney to check a box and say, "Hey guys, we checked the box, and we didn't really care about anything else." And they're paying for it.
Yeah.
Alex,
100%. Thoughts? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Same thing. Like I count on you for the pop culture, Brian, because you like
too.
Yeah, you
Don't count on Odie.
like you're out there in the front lines watching the wokest, worst shit. So, but
I'm planning on doing an episode on watching all the new Christmas crap that's come out and trying to see if it's extra woke or not. I'll let you know. I'll be the canary in the coal mine.
Dude,
I don't know.
Spoiler alert,
I wonder,
Christmas Story Christmas is really good.
Is it?
It's not
I'm so
woke
scared
at all.
to watch it. I mean,
I'm
apart
telling you
from the
at first-
wokeness, though, man, I'm just scared to watch it because I know I love the original so much. Like it's gonna hurt me if it's not
throws you off.
amazing.
The beginning part of it will throw you off because it takes place in literally 33 Christmases later. So it's in 1973, and it'll take you
Ralphie,
out
of
of it.
course, is a transgender, very aggressive school teacher.
No, I didn't say 2023. I said 1973. But if you watch it, I'm telling you, it takes you out for the first part. You're like, I don't know. But then once they go back to Cleveland Street, it all just comes back to you, and the story just goes from there. And it's really good. Not anything woke about it.
I will give it a go for sure. I mean, yeah, I'm very curious to see. I was so scared because, the original is based upon these radio plays that, very iconic, the way they're written, the way they're phrased, and the voiceover actor, of course, was the actual guy that did the radio plays. So that is so tied into everything that I'm like, I don't know how they're going to pull it off. But I hope you're right, man. I honestly hope to God you're right. But I think to you guys' point, the broader point about, you can have all these gay characters, no problem. Like Game of Thrones is a good example, I think. Even the newer iteration, they've got characters. Like the new iteration had a, House of the Dragon has a gay character in it who doesn't die well, but it shouldn't, good. It's not like, I feel like they go out of the way to make these characters so exceptional that you feel that you're being pandered to. It's like if they're real, if they're operating in this world, the guy's functioning, he's a prince, he's married, and he dies badly. Well, guess what? Everybody dies badly in this show. So equality, equity, even, if you will.
Equity, yes.
That reminds me of a movie that probably you've all seen. I think everyone's seen it. It's the new Buzz Lightyear movie. You guys have all seen it, right?
Have you actually seen it?
Absolutely not.
Of course, I've seen it. I have a 7-year-old daughter. Of course,
I have not.
New
You're the
Buzz
first
Lightyear
person
movie.
I know who's actually seen it, Odie. So what did you think of it?
So it was a little bit. It was controversial, right? So this was like right after Ron DeSantis, passed the don't say gay bill,
yeah.
and they changed the edit on the Buzz Lightyear movie. At the time, they said to include a lesbian kiss, and really, like when you watch the whole movie, like you don't even realize that the kiss happened. I don't want to give the movie away because it's a great movie, and you guys should all watch it. But like there's a subplot of as this movie's going on and like time is speeding up and Buzz Lightyear is missing out on the time as he's out traveling in space, that his best friend who's a lesbian, finds her love and gets married and they raise a family. And like that's like a part of that story. And apparently they had taken the kiss out and put it back in after the Don't Say Gay bill passed.
Yeah.
But you didn't even realize. I don't know. But I mean, more if it was like that, like those characters were put there, I think, for, just, I'm not going to say just for the reason, but to put gay characters in the movie because it served no other purpose. But it's not like it took away from the plot because they weren't main characters, but it was just kind of like a side thing going on just to say, yes, there's some gay people here. Not everyone here's straight.
I mean, I guess the question would be how. Oh, sorry, Jared. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I didn't have anything.
Oh, excellent. I thought you were starting to talk. You're just burping? Excellent. That's
No,
the John Odermatt move. That was his classic maneuver on he'd open his mouth and then say nothing. Well, I guess that's always the question, right? Is like, what's the line? How do you draw the line between like, is it necessary or not? I mean, obviously, gay people are out there, trans people are out there, black people, white people are out there. What is the line where you go, okay, this is crossed from like, okay, it's organic into this is now being force fed to me to a point where I realize it's happening? Because you could argue like, if you're straight, you just, you don't really think about gay people that much necessarily, unless you just have a shit ton of gay friends or see people that are gay walking around constantly. And there's very large portions of the population that might not have gay friends or see gay people all the time. So you just wouldn't expect to see it. So with those people thinking they're always being pandered to or always being force-fed something, so how do you figure out where the line is?
Well, I don't know if there's like a line, but like what percent of the, I don't even know. Like what percent of the
that's a good
population
question.
is gay? What is it
Well,
like?
I'm sure it's a lot higher now than it used to be. I mean,
Well,
I think it's like maybe 5%, maybe
Because
something
it
like
seems
that.
like if
It's
you look at
low.
movies, well, like
I guess we
probably
could just
what
Google this shit.
25.
yeah, let's get in the docs.
yeah. There you go.
25
Get
to
a research on it.
50% of movies, have gay characters in them or transgender.
True, and at least 50% of every commercial has gay interracial couples.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it is kind of funny. You're like, damn, everybody is interracial.
With a kid in a wheelchair, you got to get,
Right.
gotta get everything.
So it says 3.5%.
Are you saying that people that have interracial marriages are producing sub-quality children, Odie? That's not what we support on this show. We do not, as Lions of Liberty, support that theory. Just want to be very
We do on
clear.
Punk Rock Libertarians, so that's fine.
There you go.
But just
Is that why? I always wondered why you guys had a freckled black child in a wheelchair as your logo. That's a lot more sense.
Yeah, according to the internet, it's saying 3.5% of adults in the U.S. identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual.
Okay. The bi
So-
thing, I
That's
think,
not
has gone
counting all
way
the
up.
straight guys that are just having sex with men, which apparently they say that's happening on Twitter.
On the down low,
The one-offs.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be counted in that. But then.
Well, there's this Gallup poll saying 7.1% as of 2021, but even still,
lot.
this was the UCLA School of Law. I don't know why the School of Law
Don't
cares,
trust
but
them.
Yeah, I don't trust lawyers. This is specifically, if the lawyer's doing it, it's for a very specific outcome for a case.
right?
You never trust it. But I mean, there is a lot of these kids that are identifying now as trans, as bi. You know, it's like I work with a charity that works like foster kids, and they, you know, I was like, hey, do you have any stories? You know, it's Gay Pride Month. Are there any kids that are gay? You know, or you want to talk about, or any volunteers? They're like, well, we've got 5 non-binary kids. It's like, okay, so that's what everybody goes now, non-binary. As soon as you hit
Right.
a bump in the road, you're like, well, looks like I'm non-binary. That's a way for me to be special.
And these are kids in like foster care, or
Yeah, that which foster care is a
Christ.
lot. They have a disproportionately higher population anyway of that. But yeah, they're
damn,
hoeing a hard path.
yeah, for sure. That's
Oh, in a
that's
hard path. There's a joke there.
Are we pivoting into legalizing of the sex trade? Is that where we're going?
Well, sex work is work. That's what I've been told.
yes.
It's the hardest.
We
work.
need better messaging.
You're not a real libertarian unless you're fully in favor of sex work.
right. Said all the sips.
I mean, what do you guys? Do you guys have anything you want to bring up? Because, like I said, I have random shit, but this is a freewheeling conversation. So, what's on the top of your minds? Who's got something to chat about?
I mean, shit, we were struggling to come up with topics for our own show yesterday.
Last night was brutal. We were just
How?
It was a slow episode, man.
I think-
slow week, man.
Well, I think it was just
slow.
because of Thanksgiving weekend. We were all just kind of beat,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I feel you.
after football Sunday, we kind of just, and then it's like, oh fuck, Monday night after a long weekend, we're all just kind of out of it.
Yeah, it was a long, hard weekend.
That and
But-
the whole Kanye thing kind of.
Yeah, that was.
let's talk about
it
that.
happened right during in the middle of our podcast last night. And I was like, well, how are we going to compete with this shit? I mean, where Tim records is somewhere in Maryland. It's I don't know
Yeah.
exactly where, but it's somewhere near
Undisclosed
Frederick,
location.
Maryland.
He hasn't
About an
invited
hour
you
away
guys
from
on the show yet? What?
No.
Um,
Well, oh yeah, Otto kind of had
eh.
a chance to go on
I had a chance, I think, but it was slim.
through like the Mises Caucus shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
nice.
someone backed out, and I was approached with like, "Hey, man, do you want us to present you because you're close?" And I'm like, "Can't do it tonight. I can't. I there was any other night I could do it, but I couldn't. do
Taco
it
Bell
tonight."
for lunch. Sorry, Tim. Can't
Yeah.
do it. Just blow him up.
Yeah, I would love to go on there, especially after the shit show that happened last night. Kanye
Well,
walked off.
tell me
after,
about
like,
it.
20 minutes.
I didn't
I haven't-
listen to it
I-
or watch it. I just kind of heard it secondhand. But
Yeah, me too. Exactly. So tell me about it. Give a play-by-play.
It sounded like Tim just wasn't like allowed. Like he was saying something along the lines. I haven't listened to the full thing. I just listened to the clip right before he walked off, where Tim was just kind of giving him pushback about the whole they thing, and he's like, "Well, who's they? Who's they? Say they." He's like, and he wouldn't do it, and then he just got up and walked out. And then Nick, like, why would you bring Nick Fuentes? Like, I don't understand why Milo, why Nick Fuentes. It was just such a dumb move.
And that's what triggered Ye when he said, "Well, what do you mean?" Tim was like, "Who do you mean they?" And then Fuentes was like, "But it is though, right? We should be able. It's they, the fucking Jews. They run everything, you know." And it's like they goaded him, and then Tim had slight bit of pushback, and then next thing you know, Kanye's up and walking out, and he's like, "You're leaving? That's it."
So did he come back after that, or he
Nah.
went to McDonald's?
Yeah, because he just questioned me. He's like, well, "Why can't we ask why why is that? You know, he was goading him into taking him down that line, but
Yeah.
I guess Tim was just. I mean, I don't know. You know, he was gonna say it. Every fucking podcast is trying to correct him, so just let him fucking talk. Just let him dig a hole. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's when
inviting-
Kanye's the most entertaining. I
Right.
think I think Joe Rogan does a pretty good job with him. He's had him on at least once, maybe twice, and he just kind of just lets him go. Like, you don't really interview Kanye. You just kind of sit there.
Just
and-
let it happen.
Yeah, but I doubt
Let him-
Rogan would bring him back on now. Rogan's
No,
not
you gotta
gonna
let Joe
do
get
that kind of shit.
All right,
But back
well,
then
let's
he
play
was
the clip
talking
real
about
quick.
his like mega church he was starting.
Yeah, you got-
I
like,
just
all
shared it
this,
in the
like,
chat.
Huh?
Yeah,
I
thank
shared
you.
the clip
Let me,
in the chat.
Here, let me share it.
Oh.
Yeah, good job.
Go for it.
You're the best intern I've ever had.
we got the docs here.
He's for sale.
I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who is they though? We can't say who they is,
corporate
can we?
press. I'm not using the. I
you hear
don't
it?
use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm
It
talking
is
about
them, though, isn't it? I mean, because because when you think about
Fucking weasel.
it, consider it. In 2018,
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about? Are you leaving?
And he's gone.
Are you for the press?
But yeah,
He's on.
Fuentes stays. Fuentes.
I'll say
by
it
the
right
way-
now.
Hold on, let's see this.
You guys want to bring that stuff up?
Who's you guys?
And then
Have
think
the
we're not going to
discussion.
have a
Like,
conversation.
who's you guys, black people?
You think
Talking
you
about
guys
black
going to
people?
come in here? I think they've been extremely
All
unfair
right,
to you.
interesting. Okay, so cool. So that was the clip there in the short form. So he gets up and leaves. I agree. It's bizarre to bring Nick Fuentes. Like, I think, and again, I don't really know Nick Fuentes. I've never listened to Nick Fuentes. I guess he has some extreme views about the Jews and that Kanye is now a fan of. But I think that,
yeah.
I mean, there is a certain thing. There is a certain third rail aspect, and I guess it's for most races, saying, but it is hard not to say, okay, there are certain people that you could say have had a history in a certain industry, right? Entertainment and banking, fair enough. I think you can say that about the Jays, them. So I want to hear what he has to say about it. Why do you think? What do you think that this has led to? How has it impacted your life specifically? And what do you want to do about it? Like, that's the kind of, you want to hear where he's going with it at least. But to shut it down flat out, just
I mean,
then
it's not
it's
about
just going to
shutting
lead
it
to
down.
more conspiracy.
But it didn't sound like he shut it down in that.
No,
clip.
he's
he was like
willing to
Kanye
have
was trying to
more.
force him into his worldview, and Tim was just like, I'm referring to the corporate press. I'm not referring to the they that you are, which is the Jews.
Yeah.
So like I don't blame Tim Pool for I don't think Tim Pool was like censoring him or shutting him down. Tim Pool's not obligated to agree, like, you're right, it's the Jews,
Yeah, but he could have just let him dig a hole. I would have just let him ride. Like, go ahead.
It's like, are they in the room with us
I don't know,
right
I think
now?
Kanye's just kind of a baby.
Do
I
you
mean,
see
it's
them
sad,
Oh,
here?
for
but-
sure. Well, remember, he's a very fragile genius. So, probably what he's upset about is that a Jewish doctor, operated on his jaw after he broke it, and that's what looks like a fucking chipmunk. And that's where this is all coming from. It's just never going to get over it, man. If it was a Greek doctor, he'd be like, fuck those motherfucking oil drinking bitches, like, fuck your olive oil.
Those
That
tzatziki
might be
sauce
closer to
motherfuckers.
the truth
Yeah.
than any of us realize.
I mean, seriously.
But he is such a weird guy. Something like that could have set him off. You never know.
Yeah.
I just think like when he starts, whenever like everyone talks about like, oh, it's disproportionate amount of Jews in certain positions and here and that. I have that same reaction when I hear feminists say, oh, men have a disproportionate amount of CEOs.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. And it's just like, well, I can shoot down that argument just as easy. I can do this with this, Jewish people.
Because women are dumber. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Women are dumber and Jews love gold. Well, there is definitely but like, going into history though, there is a precedent for why, how Jews came into that and how it led to banking and all that stuff. I mean, there's a precedent historically to follow, and it's not like, necessarily that based upon greed or anything else. It's based upon, market, based upon what other people didn't want to do for careers or thought was
or they
below
were
them
actually
to do.
they were actually forced into it by
Exactly.
by the Pope. Yeah.
Exactly, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Other people basically wouldn't do it. Or
I mean,
When
when
you
you
weren't
have-
allowed to do it, yeah.
When
We're
you have
allowed
when you have a family name of Bankman, it comes from somewhere. There's a history there.
Right.
It reminds me of the movie Devil in a Blue Dress or whatever. I think it was like an old slapstick 80s comedy where like this kid's asking his teachers like, why do people have the name of, or the teachers talk, I don't know, something like the teacher's telling like, oh, people used to name like the last name was Cook because they used to be chefs, and they, Baker because they were bakers. And the kid raised his hand and goes, what about John Hancock?
Ew.
I remember that. I forget
funny.
the name of the movie.
Still
But,
funny.
but I mean, I think though that there are certain things where you're like, yeah, I mean, I wish my parents forced me into becoming a lawyer or a banker or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, because their parents forced them to do it.
or
And then like now Jared's
Said
like,
now you're a podcaster.
Yeah, Jared's the outcast of the family because now he's a podcaster.
Do you think there's going to be Tim Pool will have a kid, Dave Smith, like, yeah, and I'm not forcing my kid into podcasting, I'll tell you that much. But is there going to be a proud family tradition of podcasters now, like those piece of shits? Who are those goddamn bastards that are on TV? They're so smug. It's like one of the biggest sportscasters, and his son's now on.
Oh,
He hates the
Collinsworth.
Eagles. Collinsworth's a douche, but there's
Yeah, he
another
is a
one
douche.
too.
Joe Buck.
Joe Buck, yes.
oh, really?
My
Yeah,
internet
yeah.
went out, and we were talking about the Jews, and then I came back. We were talking about Chris Collinsworth.
That guy. Now here's a
Jew, that's what
guy.
we're saying.
Now here's
Greatest
a guy.
Jewish wide receiver the Bengals ever had. Well, what do you guys think about? Actually, let me ask this: do you think Kanye is going to be? Do you think he's cancelable? Like, I don't think Dave Chappelle is cancelable because Dave Chappelle works in comedy, so he can say things and get away with it more easily because they're jokes. Whereas Kanye ain't making jokes, right?
No.
So I want to talk about that. Is he cancelable?
Well, let me do a little side tangent
Yeah,
on
please.
that. Did you guys see Chappelle's monologue on SNL like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
it was
that was
great.
also
Yeah.
Jew heavy.
It was very good the way he attacked it, except he was very sympathetic to Ukraine, which I hated.
Yeah,
What?
what he made
Oh,
you,
I didn't
did he
see all
make you
that.
laugh? I talked about this with Lou Perez on the show that aired Wednesday. Now it'll air tomorrow when we're recording, but Wednesday for the people listening. Yeah, we talked about that. But the thing was, he was very Ukraine sympathetic. But the joke he had about it, where he's like, these Ukrainian motherfuckers were supposedly killing 10,000 Russians in the first week without any weapons. He's like, what are they doing? Home Alone? They have Home Alone houses? Russians dying from reaching in and feeling hot doorknobs? I mean, it's fucking hilarious. And I don't agree with it, but it's fucking hilarious. That's
funny.
good comedy.
Yeah, and you can see where people like the delivery of Dave Chappelle and the style and manners are so different than the abrasive aggressiveness of Kanye, and it comes out like it's coming from a place of hatred. Whereas Dave Chappelle comes out of it just comes out like he's just trying to be funny.
He's a comedian. He's telling jokes. Like,
Yeah.
Kanye just looks like
is he going on
sounds like he's a
podcasts and
black
talking
Israelite,
about how
you know?
like Jews are holding him down? No, I mean,
Right.
he's just telling jokes.
Right. That's where that's a funny spin on it, or an interesting spin on it. In that, usually, like I think it was Lizzo that just was talking about how she's like, oh yeah, the white man's holding me back and holding me down. It's like I think you got to be top three. You're top three pop stars right now, and also hard to hold you down, hard to stop you, hard to hold you up, and hard to hold you down. But she's talking about the white man, and then Kanye's talking about the Jews. But of course, nobody could say, "Hey, don't say that about the white guys." But can't say that about the Jews. Kind of interesting little twist Kanye's put on it. He's getting the backlash he's getting on it.
Yeah, he's digging his own hole, and I think this is kind of you seeing it downspout. Like even where Tim Pool's trying to have him on, have a conversation about it, even letting him bring I don't know who reached out to who. I don't know if it was Milo or Kanye wanted Milo and Fuentes on with him, or Tim I don't know how that worked out, but you could just see what a weird Cantwell
group.
on next,
Right.
Right.
Kanye and Cantwell.
I mean, I think Tim
2024.
Pool is just looking for whatever's going to get him the most views.
Controversy.
He is. I agree. And I mean, I think honestly, this scenario maximized Tim Pool's views. I don't necessarily think it was Tim Pool's fault that Kanye walked off, but I mean, more people are going to tune in and watch it knowing that he walked off because they want to hear what happened than would have tuned in otherwise. So I mean, I don't know if in the long run it's better for Tim Pool, but for that one episode, I mean, it's going to get more eyes on that episode. Probably in the long run, it is better for Tim Pool. But.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly seemed to play that situation right. If you're just considering the way people generally feel, right? I mean, he didn't like, cave in and like, yeah, you're right, it's the Jews. Like that would probably be bad for Tim Pool. I think
That would have been very bad.
but
I
don't know
would,
what
but
his
I would
audience
have
is
asked.
like, but
But you had him on. Ask open-ended questions like, "Well, who are they, Kanye?" Just let him go. Like that's the thing where it's like nobody gives. Like, do you think Kanye gives a fuck about your opinion, Tim Pool? Like that's the other thing too. Like just let
But he
Kanye
seemed
roll.
to- does,
he seemed like he
right?
did. He seemed
Yeah,
like
That's
he
the
did,
problem with
'cause
Tim
that's why
Pool.
he said
Tim
it.
Pool is not an interviewer. He's like like when you go in his show, you have to like force yourself onto his show, even though you're
Yeah.
sitting there. He doesn't like
Yeah.
interview. He's just
That's my thing with Tim
carry
Pool. He
around.
interjects himself so much, and I try to give him a chance, and it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You have so many good guests on right now, and you just will not shut the fuck up. Like, and he'll go off on these tangents, or they don't even make. It's like, dude, just listen every now and then. That's the only thing. He's not a good interviewer, and he always interjects himself. And it's like, well, what the fuck do you think was going to happen? You're trying to like go toe to toe with Kanye? Like, come on, man. He doesn't give a fuck
That's
about
very true.
you, Tim Pool. He didn't care about you.
That's a good point. Kanye's not used to being talked over.
Right.
It just
Like-
I mean, anybody if they try to talk over Kanye is probably gonna be like,
Brian, I'm going to let you finish.
Taylor Swift. Fuck Taylor Swift, by the way.
Yeah, fuck her too.
That was a great meme today. It was someone superimposed Tim Pool's face over Taylor Swift. It's just Kanye saying, it's just him saying, hold on, I'm gonna let you finish, and it shows him walking off the set. It's been great. Did you guys see Malice is on Tim Pool tonight? Did you guys see this?
Oh no, I didn't.
He's wearing a like an
Kanye
armband.
mask.
No, he's wearing an armband with the Star of David on it.
Oh.
Typical Malice fashion. It's great.
I
can't wait to hear
would
that.
kill to see. Sounds like it should have been Kanye with Malice. Honestly, that would have been something I would have loved to have seen.
Right.
Talk about.
Well,
I mean,
anyone with
Kanye would have
Malice.
walked out in the first second, probably, because Malice would have just said something shitty and trolled him immediately.
He'd be like,
but-
"Oh, you're a Jew. I'm leaving."
Yeah.
right. Well,
but like at least if Kanye ever ended up on Malice's show, Malice would have interviewed him. He would have like if you he actually interviews his guest, lets them talk. Like
I would just like to see Kanye on with like a rabbi.
Right.
there you go.
I mean,
Hook it up.
they
Jared. Hook it up.
forced Kyrie to go, to all these.
Yeah,
they
and
forced
he-
him into that to go
Gave
to
it
all
to-
the religious leaders and.
Next thing, Kanye's gonna be like, "I'm announcing I'm making a film. It's called Hebrews to Negroes 2," and just mic drop.
starring Kyrie Irving.
Sorry, Kyrie.
Which is
But,
fucking hilarious because it's just like he had to write like an 8-page report,
Yeah.
times
Double,
New
double
Roman.
space with citations.
no double space,
he's
front and
like
back.
Bibliography.
using
at the
size
end.
46 font. I do not think the Jews are evil. I enjoy basketball.
I am
And there's
very,
an ice-
very,
and there's an ice
very,
wall.
Very sorry.
Sorry, let me shoot free throws. So, by the way, the Balenciaga thing kind of got wrapped into this, right? Because here's a question: would Balenciaga, which I never heard of in my fucking life, by the
Me
way,
neither.
apparently
Same here, right?
Neither
we're
did
not
I.
fashion forward,
It's
guys.
just really dumb fucking looking clothes.
I mean,
I
that
guess
would've
we're
been-
also not pedophiles. Yay!
Yeah.
Hey!
And if I was Tim Pool, that's a question I'd pose to Kanye. Like, what's the connections with Kim Kardashian and Balenciaga and this whole?
I mean,
kid
Well,
diddler?
Kanye has direct connections with it
Dude.
too.
Yeah, that too. Right.
Well, have you seen this shit? Well, that's the like Balenciaga. Would we have even known about the Balenciaga stuff without Kanye getting in trouble? And I don't think we would have. Like, let me show you this fucking thread, man. I sent
What's
this.
the connection?
Well, but
I mean, I think he had part of a line.
Well, Kim's very
He did.
involved
He had
with
a line.
Balenciaga, right?
yeah, he had a line with Balenciaga.
Well, he just settled his divorce with her today.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's why he had to leave the set. He had to go sign the papers. Oh shit! I forgot about that.
You're onto something.
Oh, I gotta try to find this. Oh, fuck, it's on Instagram. Well, anyway, this dude was dredging up, like, he's like, here's the thing with Balenciaga. Like, do you guys know all the shit? Like, it goes deeper a little bit than they basically Balenciaga. They have ugly clothes, but then people found they had these images, like recent images of kids, and they're holding up these like S&M teddy bears with like, empty wine glasses and bottles of booze around them. Very like pedophilia centric, right? But then it goes a layer deeper in that there's books on the table, and the books on the table have pictures of kids in them, like covered in blood, if you actually know what the book is, and like, disturbing fucked up sexual images and shit. Then there's the fashion show Balenciaga did, where they had people, like they're handling like baby dolls and giving gift bags away with blood covered toys. So it's like insanely fucking pedophile, like let's murder kids, let's beat kids type of shit. Like, it's real fucked up.
It's like they want to make us sound so crazy for believing in adrenochrome conspiracy theories, but then they do shit like this, and you're just like,
right?
How? How can I not?
We're being psyop from both ends. Like,
yeah, I saw these pictures. It's cringe.
Yeah, these are the S&M teddy bear pictures. But then there's like, the alcohol stuff on the tables and all that shit. But yeah,
why do you bring your kids into this shit? That's what I don't get. It's fine. You're adult. Do what you want, man. I'm totally for it. Like, I was talking about this last night. Man, if you want to have a gender reassignment surgery, I'm all for it. If you're my friend, I'll donate to it. I don't care. But when you bring in kids to this shit, at the same time, I don't understand people's motivations. Like, why do you bring kids in this stuff? I won't bring my kids to a burlesque show. I wouldn't do that. Even if it's straight, I wouldn't do that. But why would people bring them into these situations where it's like so overly sexualized? I just don't get it. It drives me off the wall.
Because I think it's because they're trying to be like the cool parent. They think this is like the cool parent. Like, I'm exposing my kids to like unique and interesting things, but they're not like seeing it from the outside, which is like, this is not appropriate.
But they've been drinking.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think back. Like, it wasn't that long ago, Gary Johnson running for president, fiscally responsible and socially liberal. Socially liberal back then was like, oh yeah, we should legalize weed. Now it's like, oh, we got to bring kids, 5-year-olds to drag shows. Right. Like, that's how quickly it's changed. It's insane.
Like, do you
that
see
is what the left libertarians want for the party, by the way.
It is exactly what they want.
They want drag time story show at every convention, right?
Yeah, these people are fucking nuts. Like, they're fucking nuts. But yeah, because I got into it with my cousin, and he's up in Vermont, and he used to be like a cool leftist, but they've gone. COVID and Trump has broken these progressives' brains, and I had a great time visiting him like years ago, but they are fucked. They're fucked up there. Like, I don't know what it is. But to Odie's point, this was like just a couple years ago. Remember, it was when this drag queen story hour started in libraries, and I just made the comment like, because a guy spoke out against it at a local meeting, and they were like, "This guy's a fucking like," just shouting him down. I'm like, "Look, that's cool if you're trans or you want to go to like library shows, but do you think maybe this guy might be a little angry that his tax dollars are funding this shit?"
Right.
Like, is there a valid point here? And they would have thought like I'm like the worst human being, and I'm like, I gotta mute all these comments because what the fuck's wrong with these people? Like, hey, like, do you see there might be a problem with this? Like, people are funding shit that is just questionable at the very least, and also like our money's being stolen for this shit. Like,
and it's not like it's up for people to vote on it or there's here. It's just, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna go ahead and they're not making anybody go. That'll be the same. We're not making anybody go.
Yeah,
true, I suppose. But it becomes an issue, I think, when, like you said, tax dollars are involved, and then on the next level, like when schools start doing stuff. Like, I had a big argument with a buddy of mine who works in a private school, but about keeping kids in for like basically children that want to identify as a different gender, keeping that from the parents, right? Keeping that secret. Yeah. And to me, I'm like, that's fucked up, man. Like, I understand, because they're comparing it to like, oh, kids that are gay, that are worried about coming out. It's the same thing. I'm like, is it though? Because number one, you're talking about somebody that could now possibly adjust their hormonal state. There's people out there that are willing to give hormones to kids without parental consent, that are actively on Twitter and on Instagram saying, I will help these people. Come get it.
They're starting like underground networks to distribute these drugs. Yeah,
right.
Screwed up.
So if if there's underground networks set up just to get these kids on hormones and enable them to irrevocably change their makeup, and they may regret this immensely for 12-year-olds, probably the parents should fucking know if the kid's thinking about it.
hey, but if you're 18, you could be sent to the front lines of Ukraine, but you got to wait till you're 21 to smoke cigarettes. But if you're 14 or 12,
you can change your gender.
you could, like, what the fuck? Like, how do
the irony? Well,
Yeah.
sorry. I was just going to say.
no.
The irony is that if you're in the military and you want to change your gender, the taxpayer pays for it. So they should
Right.
lower the age to 14, and then all these kids can just get free sex changes.
Right. Send
Right.
the send the children to the front lines of Ukraine. Okay. Like all. Get out there.
No, going back to we talking about the library, whatever, drag queen story time hour, whatever. Our friends in Delaware, shout out to Dave Casey, Dave vs. Goliath. He's awesome. But they actually approached a library which had the drag queen story hour.
Oh yeah.
And they said we want to do a Liberty reading
Story
hour
hour,
for kids.
yeah.
And we were I guess they offered to bring in their own books. They were going to read to the kids. They're going to have it a kids event. And the library said, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to do that.
Thanks for your
the
input.
drag queen thing.
Did they say that? No, that's too dangerous. You're going to harm the children with that.
They said we're not interested in doing that or something like that. That was the response.
Absurd. I meant to talk about that on the show. I'm glad you brought it up. I didn't realize it was Dave Casey from David Goliath.
I don't know if it was Dave, but Dave was involved. He's just a Delaware guy.
Yeah.
So.
The Delaware crew, they're
Delaware
radical.
rocks.
They're fucking good people. Amy Lepore and Dylan. Yeah.
Dylan,
But that
solid.
does expose like how that it's such a fucking sickness. That's
Right.
too political. A liberty story.
Yeah.
That's too controversial. We're not interested in it. Why? You got books for it. There's so many books that have a liberty-centric theme to them that are not even overtly political. You could just read, I don't know, the history of the United States for whatever book you want to choose. Maybe a Thaddeus Russell version. But point being, there's nothing overtly political about it, and for them to reject that shows a deep fucking sickness.
Yeah, 100%. And it just shows that, we only approve of this. It shows there's a fucking agenda. So the fact that if you question any of this, you're labeled, you're a fucking bigot, you're a transphobe, you're this. And it's like, no, I just, to Otto's point, to everybody, like, no, this is a bridge too fucking far. Like, let's bring it back a little bit. But
Otto's getting more eggnog, everybody.
Oh yeah.
nice. Odie, we didn't ask. What
Jealous
are you
of the
drinking?
eggnog.
Oh yeah.
Should've picked
What are you
some
drinking,
up.
Odie? Do you have a drink? Odie's on the road.
I got water here. I had 3 beers down at the hotel bar. So
Did you bring any mouthwash?
why would I bring mouthwash?
I mean, that's easily in a travel kit, but you could be sipping on that.
Where-
like a homeless.
What you got going on, Odie? Business or pleasure or vacation? What you got?
Business. I'm in Oregon,
Oh, how's that?
out west.
Masked
Land.
up in
It's
the airport.
literally it's the worst weather. It makes Pittsburgh look pleasant. It has rained the entire time that I've been here. There has not been 1 minute where it has not been raining. I've been here for 2 days.
No wonder they're fucking miserable up there.
Yeah, that's why they have to make everybody else so miserable. Although Portland used to have, I think, the most strip clubs, maybe outside of Tampa, in the U.S.
The dream
But
of the
now,
90s.
I don't know.
Well,
Did
don't
the
they
Antifa
have-
burn all the
I
strip
don't know-
clubs down?
I don't know if they still have them, but didn't they originate, start those, drive-through coffee places with
Yeah.
chicks in bikinis serving coffee?
Yeah, they won their lawsuit, by the way. Those
Well,
chicks
did
in
they
bikinis.
unionize?
That's cool.
Did the bikinis unionize?
Hopefully not. Put those companies right out of business immediately. It's like, talk about one way to get me on the opposite side of any issue is unionizing. Like, nope, hate it. I'm anti-sex work now. Fuck off. Don't need to deal with the union for this. Let's talk really quick about China right now. And China. I am looking at what's happening in China. Like, I don't know about you guys. I kind of saw the writing on the wall that things are coming to a boiling point with China, because you could see the regime getting more and more authoritarian, because they're, with their social media spying, with their social credit system and all this other bullshit, they know the sentiment of the populace, which is why they kept getting more and more crackdowns on them, because they can feel like the population is getting discontented. And this latest thing, like riots like this just don't happen in China over this, 10 people dying in a fire because they couldn't get to the fucking people because of COVID barriers. Do you think that shit's going to change in China? And How are people not looking at China and being like, well, we should, there, but for the grace of God, go I.
I don't know. Maybe people think it's like, for example, I was listening to No Agenda, and they were kind of coming at the perspective like, remember a lot of people were falling for the people passing out 3 years ago in COVID. Like, it might be psyop. Like, this might be some kind of op going on. And can we trust this? How many of these videos is all in fucking Mandarin? It's like, well, none of us, because we were talking about it last night, Otto and Jared. We were like, this was all coming out. And we're like, I don't know yet. It's just like the shit coming out of Ukraine. It's like, I don't know. Like, what is real? What is?
Well, it's hard to tell because there's no way you can get like an independent reporter into China, right? Like, you can't send, what's that fucking news to share? You can't send that guy up into like Beijing and see like what's going on. But I don't know. I would like to think it's real. I would like to think that people are rioting and fighting back. It's going to be tough though because it's just such a strong dictatorship that's been there, whatever you want to call it, but it's basically a dictatorship.
Yeah, I mean,
oligarchic ship.
I mean, Canada has basically become China, and at least they had like rebel news. They had like rebel news that showed all the base truckers out there protesting, and you were getting good information.
And in China, you could still do blackface.
Right. I mean, look at LeBron James. But anyways, he's China's bitch. But
he is.
But yeah, I don't know. But because you see these videos, I mean, we posted a video last night of them welding the fucking door shut of an apartment complex. Like that's insane. But you wonder, like, is this an op? Is this just government propaganda for?
Yeah. That's a really good point. Like thinking back to the beginning of COVID, what we were seeing over there, like they were like spraying the streets down with some sort of like fog. Like what the hell?
And we're like, what the fuck are they spraying? Like, what is killing the COVID?
I just saw a video of them supposedly drone spraying shit. All over the
that
streets.
was wild.
Yeah,
they got drones out here like spraying. What are you spraying? You
just don't know what to believe. And I don't need these videos to prove to me how authoritarian China is. We just know over the course of the years they have been leading the charge on this social credit score thing, this totalitarianism through and through. Where like these videos that come out that just want to pluck on your heartstrings, like you can. Like I don't know. I find it a little convenient how these videos can just make it straight to the internet, but everything else is so hard to get out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
man.
that too. Yeah.
And it's not about like carrying water for any of these people because like fuck them, fuck China, fuck Pooh Bear, like fuck all this shit. I don't care. Like it means nothing to me. But at the same time, though, I don't want to be doing the CIA's bidding by going like, oh wow, yeah, let's focus on China because like we were talking about this too, like. I feel like the MAGA movement has been completely co-opted by neocons that are now like, okay, our job is to focus on China.
Boom.
So let's tell them, oh, we need to get out of Ukraine and stop getting involved with Russia because our real enemy is China. Like that's
said it.
The direction. They say it all the time.
Yeah, where is this leading? Yeah, where's this all leading? I mean, is this kind of getting us ready, getting all the blue checks ready to change their Ukrainian flags to Chinese flags?
Well, it would be the best thing for China. Think about it. What would be the most beneficial thing? This is what I'm worried about. What would be the most beneficial thing for China if this is legit? If they're having actual riots and people are pushed back? Oh, a war. That'd be the best thing. Tell you when China's going to invade Taiwan. Right as their population decides it's going to start revolting, they go, guess what? We're going to war. Yeah.
Remember the archers in Hong Kong? And remember like all the fucking wild ass protests in Hong Kong? And then guess what happened? Some like bat soup coronavirus emanated from China. And then guess what? The Hong Kong protests just kind of came to an end. See?
Yep.
So
interesting how that happened, right? So
and so stay strapped, get clapped, and be ready to boogaloo. So
fucking A, man.
That's great advice.
By the way, how late do you guys want to go? I know it's late there, so
I'm good.
I took a power nap, so yeah.
All right, because what I'm thinking is to wrap this in 10 like an hour, and then do like a little 15-minute bonus segment, if that's cool with you.
Hell yeah,
Patreon. Yeah. Sure. All right, Odie's the guy that should be like, yeah, and he's like, fuck, man, I'm not gonna do that.
It works, man. I mean, I'm still on East Coast time, even though I'm on the West Coast. It's like I'm not here long enough to switch time zones.
That's true.
I wake up at like 5 a.m. here. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? What am I going to do for 3 hours before I go to work?
So a lot of masturbating. Just an unbelievable amount.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
A lot of hotel
Every
soaps.
day.
We should talk about all this in the after hours for your patrons.
Well, I have a in defense of China. Let me share this video.
Oh.
In defense of China.
In defense of China. Look at this thing.
Yeah,
Look at
that
this
was
guy.
wild.
Look at
Is
these
that drones?
Look at these drones. 1,000 drones making a dragon.
Yeah, that was pretty rad. I saw that you posted that.
That's fucking
I don't understand how that even happens.
Bonkers.
It doesn't even make sense to me. So that's all individual drones that are
Yeah.
Like
flying?
LEDs on them.
They're
Lit
simple.
up.
Do that with
They're simple machines, man. So
Yeah.
it's just programming to go to a certain point and at a certain
software.
time, just coordinate.
But we
it.
can't get back to the moon. You're telling me we can do that, but we can't get back to the moon?
There is no moon,
Dude,
dude.
let's talk
believe
moon
that,
landing.
dude.
Let's talk moon landing in the
That's
for your
actually a
Patreon.
ship for the reptilians.
Isn't there a
okay?
mission right now where there's like a unmanned
Yes,
spacecraft
yes.
going to the moon, and they
So-
just posted a picture of
It
the
looks fake as
spacecraft,
fuck. It looks
the
fake as
moon,
fuck.
and then Earth.
We made it.
And
Yeah.
who took the picture where you can see the spacecraft and you can see the moon and you can see Earth?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
it was
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick. It's like they dug in his vault and they're like, "Hey, look what we found like 30 years ago. See if this works."
Dude, it is
Fuck, I know.
fucking.
I don't
It
think
is
it's
fucking
real.
ridiculous.
Dude, you saw I was just before I came on, I was looking at these videos.
You can tell Alex is our resident conspiracy theorist, right?
Well, like, yeah.
We could
Well,
do
our-
a secrets, lies,
he's
and
our
cover-ups
token
for the bonus
conspiracy
show.
Well, all right. So the whole thing is like it's such a production. It seems like such an operation. I was watching the whole launch of this Artemis, and it's been delayed multiple times. And then
Hold on,
finally,
no. I decided we're saving it for the bonus show.
Oh,
We're doing
all right.
we're doing
Yeah,
a
don't
secret. We're
steal
doing a
his- don't steal his
conspiracy.
money.
A conspiracy bonus show. No, because we have
All
a whole
right.
intro. It's
yeah,
great.
'cause I watch videos on it, and I'm like, let's
we'll
discuss.
talk about this
Yeah.
on the bonus show. Oh, because I want to talk mostly because I want to talk about one more thing on this show before we talk about that on the bonus show. Have you guys seen the story that broke today? So fucking funny, man. About Joe Biden's non-binary head of nuclear waste who
Oh
got
my
arrested,
God.
felony arrested for stealing luggage worth like a couple $1,000s from the airport. And let me show a picture of this guy.
Jesus fucking
This
Christ.
bald guy. Yeah. What the
Oh my
fuck?
God.
This bald motherfucker. He got
Oh my
he got
god!
arrested.
Look at this fucking guy.
$2,000 worth of luggage at the airport. This guy
Wait,
worked for the Biden
who is this
administration.
guy? Who is
Wait,
this?
from like Sharper Image or whatever? Like,
Yeah,
like one of
something
those
like
luggage
that.
stores?
He's the chair of like the Nuclear Regulatory Committee.
I
or
thought I
something?
recognized
Sam
him.
Commission?
Brinton. Sam Brinton, the first gender fluid person in the federal government.
and he got arrested for what?
He got arrested for stealing $2,000 worth of luggage from the airport.
What?
And look, it wasn't like he took it from a store. Police used video surveillance to catch Brinton taking a woman's hard-sided Vera Bradley roller suitcase from the baggage claim. He just took it, and he took this bitch's shit. He didn't even steal it.
messed up.
it wasn't
from
even
the
a
store like a man.
No.
Wow.
Steal it like a man. Fuck over the corporations, dude. Don't fuck over some lady.
I guess the nuclear
Wow.
kickbacks aren't that strong these days, huh?
the nuclear fallout not as good as they used to be.
Again,
Yeah.
when you hire people for check marks, just to check boxes or whatever, this is what you get. You reap what you sow. Just because this person had mildly knows something about
Nuclear waste?
nuclear whatever, does not mean they are fit as a human being. Clearly,
Yeah. I mean, look at the
Waterhead
picture.
looking weirdo. Like I'm sorry.
Do you see how
Dude,
much
just like-
pharmaceuticals are probably churning through that individual? Like, what the fuck? Look
All
at
the
that
Pfizer
picture.
shots and Moderna shots.
Yeah, I mean, this dude.
you
Accidents.
know they've got their flu strain.
Yeah, this is like the
God.
Look at this fucking
No,
diversity
but
hire.
click on grocery picks gone wild though.
Oh, so awful.
Where's your ad block, bro?
It knows what I want to see.
That's great.
But yeah, I just thought that was so funny, man. So fucking funny. All right, guys. What? Any last thoughts, topics you want to get into? We got 5 more minutes, and then we'll wrap this show up. So I know you said you have nothing to talk about, which is fine.
No, we should have. We probably should have. Brought some more material for the show, but
Nah.
Why do that? Because we don't even do that for our show. So why would we do it for yours?
Well, this show is going to air on the first, I think the 1st of December or the 2nd of December. So you're drinking eggnog, Otto. Let's go around.
I want to know, Otto. What do you
Christmas
put in your eggnog?
Okay.
How do you make your eggnog?
This is just straight up from the bottle, Evan Williams eggnog.
Okay.
Usually my brother and my wife, they make a good eggnog. They put the nutmeg, and then you put like the rim of cinnamon sugar, like the whole.
Gotta have the nutmeg.
Yes.
I don't like the nutmeg. It makes me cough. Drink it, gets lodged in my throat. I like it smooth.
Well, this hits the spot.
Well,
so just
you got a
straight
weak
from the
throat.
bottle.
Yeah, you gotta work on that.
I take pride. Honestly, I take pride in that. I don't work for the Biden administration. I don't steal any luggage. So
You're doing all right then.
all right. Favorite Christmas song and favorite Christmas movie. That's what we're gonna do to end the show to kick off the holiday season. Odie, go first. I'll yell your name out. So think about it.
Well, I mean, Christmas song is the first one that pops in my head, which a lot of people hate. But I didn't hear it until I was in college, and it's got to be Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey, just because it is.
That is the most ridiculous song ever. Oh yeah, Dominic, the Christmas donkey. Okay, good. Now Christmas movie, Odie. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
I don't know. I don't know if it's my favorite, but probably Home Alone. It's iconic.
Right.
I mean, it's
That's
you can watch it over and over again. It's still entertaining. So I'll go
right.
with Home Alone.
Alex, you're weighing in. What's your favorite Christmas song? Favorite Christmas movie?
I'd go with Mele Kalikimaka. You know,
That's a good one.
yeah, it's
a wise way.
Yeah, it's to say, yeah, hell yeah, it's a jam. But Christmas movie, I mean, I guess go back to the Christmas Story because it's just timeless and it just brings like you get all the old folks like I remember that, you know, like so it's a good throwback. So
nice, Jared. What about you, babe?
Dreidel Dreidel.
Nice.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Yes, he's one of them.
I was gonna say
he is they.
He is
One of
they.
those?
Jared's
Who
they.
day? Who day?
Jared.
I was gonna say Die Hard just to piss Otto off,
Oh,
but
God, you fucking NPC! I swear.
but my real answer is Bad Santa.
Oh,
Bad
nice.
Santa.
That's a good one. That's
Yeah.
I
a good one.
haven't seen that in so long, dude. I'm gonna watch
So
that
good.
soon.
It's so fucking
It,
good.
it is very funny when he's banging her in the ass. Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Also, by the way, my two Jewish friends and also my Baltimore buddy, they, because I only have two. They are the
That's
biggest.
two's enough.
Two of them. There was a little bread at the street for me. They are more passionate about watching Christmas movies than my wife and I are, and I am passionate about watching Christmas movies. They've already started. They've already watched eight Christmas movies.
Same
We're
here.
going over to their house for Hanukkah to like do a gift thing, but they're like all in on the Christmas movies. All about it.
Brian, I mean,
And they come to our house on Christmas.
You're an atheist. I mean, not to out you, but I mean, think you're already out there, and you love Christmas more than anyone I know. So it's not like
it's the best. I'm more agnostic at this point, but I think Christmas
Gary.
is the best time of
I'm
year
the same
by
way.
far. Everything about it, giving, celebrating friends, celebrating, feeling
Christmas
good.
is not a religious holiday.
I agree.
You know,
I
it's
agree.
a secular holiday.
It is.
You know?
Putting up the lights, man. I do it not for God. I do it because I want the neighborhood to feel good. I want my kids to go home and see the lights and be like, oh, God, it looks so great. Christmas is wonderful. Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
All right, Otto, favorite Christmas song, favorite Christmas movie?
So this is probably a great question for me because I think about this stuff all the time because I struggle
All
with
year
coming up
round.
with top lists. Yeah, I struggle with this shit. And not to bring everything down, but like my dad died a few days before Christmas last year, so I had to like stop listening to anything Christmas music because I didn't want it to be like messed with that memory and stuff like that. So I stopped listening to it.
To like associate the two together.
Yeah, I do that all the time. So I want to make sure I didn't. So this year I kind of got into it a little bit early. And I love Last Christmas, the song Last Christmas. I love all the versions of it. If you go on YouTube right now, you can find there's like 5 different metal versions of the song, which are incredible by these European people. It's just incredible. I'm telling you. You don't believe me, but do it. But there's a song though. Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's some
breakdowns
like,
are
really
phenomenal.
good stuff.
I murdered my cat.
Even if you don't like metal, even if you guys don't like metal, I'm telling you, you would like this shit. But anyway, there's another song though I've just been listening to, I can't get it. I can't get out of my head. The past like week and a half, I've done nothing but listen to it. And it's our buddy Nick Pacone recorded a song called "Bribing Santa," and it's about Christmas cookies he leaves for Santa.
No
It's
shit.
just the most Christmas
nice.
song ever. It's like a
that's awesome.
rockabilly style. It's just perfect. It's a perfect Christmas song.
I gotta hear
Love
that.
Nick. Nick
Nicky
did
P.
the Ballad of Do Nothing Man.
Yes, I love Nick. And so go check out Nick Pacone. And
Yeah,
also
sure.
there's a version of Someday at Christmas, which is with he sings, it's a modern version of it. It was recorded like in 2015. Stevie Wonder and Doris, I forget her last name. It was actually
Doris Day?
played as, I don't know, it was a commercial that originally, but it has an actual song to it, and it was just a beautiful version of the song. It's one of my favorites. But you check that out too. It's on.
And what's
YouTube
the
as well.
movie? Only one.
The movie, the only one. See, I'm terrible at top lists, so this is why I think about it a lot. I don't know. I guess as of recently, dude, I don't have one. I really don't
Just
have
pick
one.
a
off the top.
movie, Otto. So
I
you
would
can
say
end the show.
Well, so we watched. Me and my kids. We just got done.
Muted.
Wow. Wow.
Got him.
Got the Howie treatment. Oh, man.
Okay. Jesus.
Oh.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm rambling. I had too much eggnog. I'm very warm.
Yeah.
I don't know. We watched A Christmas Story and we watched A Christmas Story Christmas. And I literally right before we came on here, there's an actual Christmas Story 2. It's an actually authenticated sequel to A Christmas Story, and it came out in 2012, and it's pretty awful. I was just watching that before, but I love all Christmas movies.
Excellent.
Maybe Jingle All the Way. I'll say Jingle All the Way.
All right, I like it. Somebody's mic's buzzing. Fix that before the bonus show. But we will do a bonus show. For those of you that are in the Lions of Liberty Pride, patreon.com/Lions of Liberty. 15% off a annual subscription right now, by the way, or lionsofliberty.locals. Join us. We're going to stop this feed. We're going to start a new feed. By the way, to wrap it up, my favorite Christmas song, Marshmallow World. It's Marshmallow World. Will you sing it?
World.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
And my favorite Christmas movie, you guys have already named Christmas Story. That was the one. But I will say as a runner-up, my favorite Christmas movie is probably what makes me tear up the most is the question. I'd say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's probably
That's a
number two.
solid. Yeah, that's a great one.
It's so good.
Fuck yeah.
It's so good. I watched it 4 times. All right, guys.
Also,
tell everybody.
Crabs for Christmas. That's a good song. Crabs for
Crabs-
Christmas. It's a Baltimore song. Check it out. It's just so stupid.
Crabs for Christmas. Crabs for
Sounds great.
Christmas, son.
All right, guys, tell everybody where to find you. And what I'll do, I'll end the show. I'll email you all, or I'll Twitter you a new link. So where can everybody find you guys?
Well, before everyone else gets booted off of here,
Where'd everybody go?
so you can find us at Punk Rock Liberty is our Twitter. We also have I just launched a new website. It's punkrocklibertarians.com. It's got our podcast on it. You can find our podcast on every podcast app.
It's got
YouTube.
every podcast we've ever had. We were up to 422 episodes.
Yeah, that's all on the website. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
There you go. I highly recommend it, guys. These guys are fantastic. Also, you have a really good Facebook group. So I recommend joining the Facebook group. A lot of fun in there.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. So for Otto, for Jared, for Alex, who's left us, for Odie, who's also left us, and for me, Brian McWilliams, I want to thank you guys for joining us on this Libertarians and Living Rooms Drinking Liquor Special Friday episode. A Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Thanksgiving for those of you who don't celebrate either one of those. And gentlemen, I'll see you on the bonus show. Bye-bye.